complicated than that. She just replaced the repressed memories with invented ones. So close. So close. Tell yourself the truth.
We know what happened.
Yes, but she doesn't. Her mind is creating scenarios because it doesn't want her to know the truth.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 thriller 1,000 Little Cuts, a film that is written and directed by Joss Brandon, and it stars Marina Sirtis, Rebecca Lydiard and Colin Ferguson. Now the film focuses on Rebecca Lydiard's character Anne, who is a young professional young lady who has had a series of failed relationships. And we kind of see her at the beginning of this film being interviewed in a hospital bed by a psychiatrist played by Marina Sirtis. She's trying to get to the bottom of her story and her injury, and initially this Anne character doesn't understand why she's being interviewed by a psychiatrist for a fairly basic injury, or so she believes. But in actual fact, something far deeper and darker has happened to this young woman, and it is up to the Marina Sirtis' character, this psychiatrist, to get to the bottom of it in order to get to the truth, to find out what truly happened. Right, what are my thoughts on 1,000 Little Cuts? Well, I actually think this is quite a tidy, well-made little thriller. If you like thrillers, there's a lot here certainly to enjoy. It deals with a very serious subject matter that many people are subjected to, unfortunately, this day and age, and that is domestic abuse. And it does it in quite, well, it's quite unbalanced, I think, in its approach, but I also think it's quite clever in how it approaches this subject matter as well, because when you first start watching this film, it feels a bit like it's like some kind of light romantic comedy almost. There's some lighter elements to it. Some of the characters don't exactly feel like real people. And I'm talking about the characters at her place of work. She kind of works for like this advertisement firm for not necessarily pharmaceutical tablets, but tablets that say they can do one thing, but in actual fact they can't. So she kind of works like in a marketing type company sort of thing. And some of the people that work at this place, whether they didn't necessarily feel like real people, they feel like a little bit exaggerated. And her best friend felt like, not like a real person, almost like a lighter approach. And there's a scene at the beginning of the film where she turns up and finds one of her boyfriends. This is the Anne character. She literally walks through the door and finds him cheating on her with another woman. It all felt very sitcom-like, very light in its approach. Oh, aren't men terrible? Dating's really hard. All this kind of trying to get ahead in the workplace because I'm a woman. It felt like it was dealing with these subjects in quite a light touch approach. And then it takes on a darker tone, the film. The understanding of who the Marina Sirtis' character is, this psychiatrist, and what the truth she's actually trying to get out of this woman. And the truth is much darker. She's been subjected to domestic abuse by this new boyfriend that she picked up on one of the dating apps. So it deals with how she's been coping with that, but also ultimately getting to the truth. Why is she in hospital? Why is she there? Something very serious has happened that she is psychologically covering up because she doesn't want to face the truth, essentially. And that's what this process is with this psychiatrist, trying to get to the truth. And the police are on the backs because they need to know what's happened in order to close their case, so on and so forth. So there's another story underneath all this lightness that's going through it, because it's told from like flashback type things. She's in this hospital bed, she's talking about her life, so you see it all like in flashbacks and stuff. So at one side of it, I'd say it feels quite like almost like a romantic comedy at times, and then other side of it gets very, very dark and very, very serious. So the tone of the film, I think, is a little bit unbalanced and it's a little bit off. But there's no getting around it. I thought this was a really well-made film with some excellent performances. First and foremost, Rebecca Lydiard, I thought was excellent as Anne. She didn't overplay this character. It felt realistic in a sense of, dealing with domestic abuse. giving second chances, all that sort of thing that many people do in these scenarios when they are subjected to domestic abuse. They give people chances. You can't almost help who you love, and all the whole different thing. And it's easy from someone from the outside looking in, saying, "Well, you just dump them." Well, that's not how it works in reality. And this film doesn't shy away from that. She presents this character that's ultimately quite likable and realistic. And I just thought she pitched it absolutely perfectly, and I thought she did a very, very good job. Also, I thought Marina Sirtis was excellent. Now, we will all recognise her, obviously, from Star Trek. She played Councillor Troy for many, many years. So she's actually playing quite a similar role here in regards to Councillor Troy. She's playing a psychiatrist. And she puts on those shoes like they're a comfortable pair of slippers. I thought she was excellent. She was defending her patient's rights. She wasn't rushing her in order to get to the truth, to give the police what they wanted, even though she was getting pressure from the police. I thought she was absolutely excellent also, and them two on screen were easily the best part of this film. There's other aspects of the film that I thought were a bit odd and a bit of filler, like, for example, when the Marina Sirtis character goes home and has discussions with her husband about work and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think the film needed that, and some other bits and pieces. So while I thought it was patchy, a little bit unbalanced and tonally a little bit off at times, this film, ultimately I was completely engaged throughout this film, and I actually enjoyed it, and I thought it gave quite a strong message as well. So I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10. Certainly worth checking out, you guys, if this is the sort of thing you enjoy. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.